Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com.
Oh, welcome to the Revolution. Children.
Yes.
Got back from University of Michigan. Thanks for everybody for showing up. Man, it was packed. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Lines out the bar, everybody raging. New Hard AF Seltzer flavor there.
That's Bob's
Sold
favorite.
out. Sold out.
Not the team.
It's back in, yeah, exactly. It's back in stock now, but sold out over the weekend. My God, people raged.
Yes.
A week ago, somebody threw up on me, puked a little bit on the back of my legs. This time an ambulance was called. So that's fun.
For somebody?
Yeah, for one of our listeners.
Listeners.
Yep.
That we're not going to say. You can't out that.
I don't know what I can and can't say, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't.
It's a HIPAA violation, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think it should just be like a ringing endorsement for the seltzer, and we just leave it there.
Let me see if I can pull
Do
him
not
up.
say his name.
I'm not going to say his name,
Okay.
but let me see if I can pull him up here.
Say his name.
If I knew it, I would. I promise you guys.
Stop it. I don't condone.
I
I don't
can't find the
condone.
pictures of the
Okay,
ambulance.
good.
Can't find the pictures of the ambulance. But they sent them to me, and they're like, hey, dude, you're not going to believe this. And I was like, yeah, I do believe it. Because it wasn't just the Hard AF Seltzer.
Okay.
Endless shots. And people are starting hard around noon. It was a 1 p.m. show. And they were doing shots, and I go, hey, guys, let's pace ourselves. And they were like, oh, but the seltzer, it's delicious. Doesn't taste like alcohol. And I go, it doesn't matter what it doesn't taste like.
Right.
It's still in there.
Right.
And it's going to sneak up and get you.
Don't use the seltzer as like a water replacement.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And they did, and it was an issue for them. Now, it looked like the ambulance was in some form of parking structure, which was nice.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully they weren't trying to drive anywhere or whatever, but it was a blast. My God, dude. My God.
Wow.
Things got wild. Even Mikey, who was on the show, Michael Raymond James, terrific actor, one of the very best there is. Even he, after the show, was just like, oh my God, are we going to dinner tonight? He's like, I've got to eat.
Did you guys, or did you just make them drink?
We did.
Okay.
So D'Anthony went back to the hotel, and he was just like, I can't. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Sure.
Dropped him off. Me and Mikey went out and had some dinner. Went to Morton's, took him to a nice steakhouse.
Oh,
It's
lovely.
one of my beef fries. I haven't seen him in a while. He goes, let's get the tomahawk. I was like, oh. I mean, exactly like that, by the way.
Yeah, he talks like that.
Well, also, a few hard AFs deep, it got bad. And I was just like, holy shit, they're kicking us out of here. I was like, there's no way we're making it through this goddamn place
Right.
together. And I go, man, we're going to sit at the bar. Stay out of everybody's way,
yeah.
take a seat at the bar.
No, I think that's classy. That's respectful.
Yeah.
If you know you've had a couple, let's not take up a full, right?
Sure.
Table.
And
yeah.
let's not ruin someone else's
Yes.
night, who this is their date night, and, hoping to have sex with their wives. They're going out for the night. It's a nice thing, and I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
So instead, cozied up at the bar with a gentleman in his 60s with a prostitute, which you find at Morton's. You find that a lot. It's those nice steakhouses and things like that. She appeared to be in her 20s, good for him.
Yeah.
Nice little prosty for him on a Friday. So I knew we were in good company at that point. You know, I knew it was going to be okay no matter what happened. Now, what do you think happened when you're extremely drunk and you order a tomahawk steak? Just give you guys one guess. What do you think happens?
Well, I don't know.
Delco, Bob, any guesses?
What do you mean, like before, during,
Yeah.
after?
Well-
During the meal, you order a tomahawk steakhouse in your waist. You order a tomahawk
Oh,
steak.
does it take a really long time or?
It takes a while.
Okay.
But what do you think happened with
We
it?
probably vomited it up.
Oh, no. It would settle me down, really.
Yeah, we would settle it down. There you go. But how would you eat that, you think?
With my hands.
Oh yeah, you grab the bone, right?
Grabbed the fucking bone,
You've
dude.
got to though. And
Inside Morton's and started eating it like a caveman,
Little lollipop.
I love him.
which I love, and I'll allow it. And the bartender comes over and goes, "Hey, your friend's really enjoying that steak." Now I'm fine because I'm used to this sitch, you know, and having this kind of booze on a regular basis, and I go, is there any other way to eat this? You know, it's the best. Morton's is the best, and I'm having a good time with him. We're laughing, throwing some jokes, and I go, "You're gonna get a big tip here. Just let him finish it up."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what he did.
Yeah.
So he ate it off the bone.
The entire thing. It wasn't just like a
No,
gag. Let me do a couple.
No.
Okay.
No.
And they put some butter and stuff on there too, but kind of
Yeah.
kind of drippy.
He had
yeah.
not eaten all day, all right? There's nothing wrong with that.
We ordered food at the bar, and we ordered for everybody else and booze and all that other stuff. So yeah, there was food. He had the opportunity, but again, thank God we were next to a dude in his 60s with a prostitute. Like,
Well, he's
what's
trying to get-
what's she gonna say? And that's what I said to the bartender when they went up to use the restroom. I go, "What the fuck is she gonna say?"
She's trying to experience the girlfriend
Yeah.
experience.
Maybe.
Girlfriend experience.
But not at the bar.
Give the girlfriend experience, but yeah.
But not at the bar. You don't do that at the bar. You sit down.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get a prosty and you're gonna get the girlfriend experience, you sit down and you have a real full date.
Yeah, I think the bar is almost like that seems more like a mistress situation.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be, but they weren't sitting down, so that was the beauty of it. And I knew, you know, again, when I turned to the bartender, what the fuck is she going to say? Nothing. She's just grateful to be out at this place tonight, you know? And that was fucking lovely. Drinking bros rule, dude. You guys absolutely fucking rule. Now, only gripe I have is I said, do your worst. Whew, they did their worst. 5K was that bar bill. So, yeah.
And that was the brown jug. Sorry,
Brown jug.
Yes. What'd you
Shout
think
out
of
to
it?
the brown jug. Loved it.
Loved it.
Great college bar.
So I've heard.
Great college bar. One of the best there is. Condolences to Michigan, obviously, for losing over the weekend, but great bar. Right next to it, another great bar called the Blue Leprechaun. Now, that didn't exist when I was in college, and it was one of those places that should be replicated on every single campus in America. 2 floors, underground basement that you had to walk downstairs into.
Okay.
Very similar to like a New York bar. Yeah, pull up the Blue Leprechaun. Want to give them a shout out. One room was just beer pong downstairs. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Tables set up, everything. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Like I understand it. Yeah, there it is. There's the old Blue Leprechaun right there. Then another full room with what appeared to be a dance floor, some form of crystal ball above it, like an old
like a
school
disco, yeah.
But the fun flirty thing was they had mirrors on every single inch of the wall, so you could see everything that was going on around you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they had a Michael Jackson impersonator who was dancing in the mirrors.
Oh.
So I had fun with that.
Yeah.
And that was a good time. They're also serving hard AF Seltzer over there at the Blue Leprechaun. So great time. And then hopped on a flight out of there. Those noon games should be against the law.
Yeah. What the hell?
A lot of people are going to die at those things. A lot of people, because that means we have to be there like 7:30, set up, do all the things for the booze company and everything else. And then boom, you got to leave at like 10:30, 11 just to get into the game.
By the way, can I just say, I wanted to look this up. I wanted to look this up before I spoke. $5,000 at a college bar
Yep.
is astounding.
Yeah, like hard to do, guys.
Bro.
I am looking at now. I don't know if they were ordering this particular. I assume it was mostly hard AF they were drinking, but not entirely.
Hard AF, yep.
And shots, it
Just to
sounds
give
like.
you an idea
so shots, yeah, fuck.
of just the cost of this bar, though. 48-ounce Long Islands. 48 ounces?
Sure.
$16.
Wow.
Wow.
So you could pay $16 to basically black yourself
To
out.
die.
Sure,
yep, to
which is
die.
great. That's great.
To die.
But yeah, there
So,
was a lot of
yeah.
people, a lot of shots. I mean, one of the first shot tray that I saw had about 100 on it. So, you know, it is what it is. We raged, and mid-afternoon had some Mortons. Went to sleep like a gentleman, got up, and then went to the game and flew home on Saturday. Daddy's back, baby. Daddy's back. And then the article I read, like when I get on the plane, is kind of made me sad. I got caught up in a deep article on a plane for, it's old school. So like media's dying. We've talked about this a million times on the show.
Sure.
And they're paying people roughly, Bob, what do you think they're paying per article now? $400?
No.
Yeah, no.
15.
$15 what,
$15?
Like, so my wife, when she was an editor before she got laid off, they were paying like $200 an article, and
Which
that was astounding.
was
Yeah,
that was
insane.
incredible. Like, people were leaving like People magazine and like legitimate websites to come work for them because they paid so much.
They were also backed by a gambling website.
Yeah. No, you'd be lucky to make $100.
If that. Like, it depends.
Oh, God, that's depressing.
And
So,
it's going to need to be like an exclusive interview with somebody.
right.
Yeah.
And here's why I ask is two things that are going on with media. If you don't read print articles a lot, we do. One, you can press a button now on every single article and they'll read it for you. So there'll be a robot voice that just kind of reads it for you, or an AI voice if you're too lazy to fucking read, I guess. The other thing that was shocking to me was it says the time limit now. Do you guys see that, Bob?
What?
How long it'll take to actually read the article?
Oh, yeah, that's been around for a while.
Right. So that's been around for a while, but I haven't seen a number this big because no one works in media anymore. Nobody writes articles this long. It said, this is going to be a 14-minute read. And I was like, huh? That's like a first chapter of a book, essentially. And it was. And it was about Prince. And there is this Prince documentary. What's the name of it? What did I tell you the name of it was for the show?
And it's a documentary, not a biopic?
Documentary.
Documentary,
not a biopic.
The Prince We Never Knew.
The Prince We Never Knew.
Oh.
And if you're asking, why I didn't know that, I don't think this thing is coming out. They're in fights over it. And it's a lot of what we talk about here on this show. So in The Prince We Never Knew, he had this crazy vault. Never slept, was always up recording, always making cool shit, and had this never-ending vault that everybody in the family has been fighting over. Jay-Z tried to buy it at one point. Like, everybody wants this vault of unreleased music, and it's supposed to be never-ending. Just never-ending songs like we've never seen before, maybe besides Tupac.
Right. But apparently, Prince
is that it right there?
never wanted anyone to hear them.
Correct.
Yeah, this
So
is
they're
part
like
of it.
to sell to people, to give to people for just himself to like work on stuff, like explicitly would be like, this is not for anyone to hear.
Yeah.
Don't want anyone to hear this.
And so on this show, I've talked about this numerous times. In the manner in which he died, he didn't leave a will because he didn't think he was going to either die that young or Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in it. So therefore, in Minnesota, where he died, which state is fucked anyways, any relative who has any remote like form of blood inside their body gets to have this Prince catalog. So they're all in this giant, huge estate with like 30-something fucking people. And there's one guy who's the same lawyer who's been running Prince's shit for forever, that apparently he didn't really like, but some of the masters were still belong to this guy, blah, 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 blah. He's the one who's actually been protecting all of this shit for years and years and years and still won't let them do whatever they want to do. So Netflix calls and they back up the truck and they say, we want this fucking documentary, open up the vaults. And they're like, all right, great. We'll open up the vaults. However, we want the cut. So the estate says we want the cut,
Don't ever give the family the cut.
and it's the lawyer who said that. Now, the sister and a couple other people take place in this documentary, so they obviously signed off on it and they wanted to do it. The documentary filmmaker is the guy who won the Oscar for the OJ one, which is still, in my opinion, the greatest documentary ever made.
Yeah.
And the dude is super fucking thorough. Like, his notes and everything are just gnarly if you see like the inside of his place. When he does a documentary, he lives with it, like for real. And he's just like, hey. So he turns in a cut to Netflix. It's 9 hours. And he goes, this is it. This is what I want to do. You guys can chop it up, do whatever it is. Like, that'll give you, 9 episodes, maybe 10 if you're going like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Which, fine, that rocks. Netflix wanted it, and they agreed to it. They go, great. We'll put all this. Is there anything longer?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take it.
Can we get a season 2?
Yes. The estate calls, and they were like, no. So we're not doing that. We've got pages and pages of notes. We're going to send them over. And you got to get this under 7 at least. Why that was agreed upon in the contract, not really sure. But they also go, there's some narratives in here that we don't want anybody to know about. So we want that stripped as well. And it was shitty. So the question becomes, first of all, what was it? There was a girl that was 19 years old that he was with. Apparently, he punched her in the face one night or something like that.
I get it.
Yes. Yeah.
You get it, Ross.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it really that bad when he's the size of a girl?
That's what I mean. You know what I mean?
Who was
It's
taller in the
like,
relationship?
Who was bigger?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because it's wrong for a male to hit a female, but how angry can I get at my toddler for hitting my wife?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. But it turned out, Prince had this shitty childhood. It was in Purple Rain where the dad used to hit his wife and blah, 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 blah. And then this happened with him, and they were like, no, we want this scrubbed. And that's part of the other thing they were bringing up David Bowie and Mick Jagger and all those guys. It's like,
Don't bring those up in front of Bob. He'll fucking flip.
but it was Bob, it was in this article too of like, if we're going to tell about the genius of all of these people, we got to tell all the sides, or do you want that hidden from the public? And right now, Prince's estate is saying, we want this ripped out of here, or this isn't going to happen. And the documentary filmmaker's like, well, no, fuck you. I signed off on a full cut, so
Right.
I don't really give a shit. However, Netflix is the middleman to this. So I don't know what those contracts were between them, but
Does Prince's estate have the money to go after a Netflix?
yes.
From what?
Well, they don't have to. So their contract stipulates, apparently, that the estate has the right for the cuts. Netflix hired this guy, this director. The director said, hey, dude, you knew what you were hiring when you got me. This is my cut, so I don't really give a shit. And he goes, if I have to cut out that much stuff and then do all these pages and pages of notes, one, this isn't the film I want to make. Two, I basically have to start from zero and then create a new narrative because this was created around a 9-hour experience. Netflix is saying it was going to be six episodes total, but so who knows? But
That's why I don't really get down on too many biopics, because it feels like too many like family members have a say, right? Mm-hmm. I'll do a documentary, unauthorized documentary about whatever, or someone that's come to terms with all the shit they've done, or whatever it is. But the biopic or the documentary where the family has say,
right.
it's just not. It's fake at that point. It's make them up. Let's tell whatever story. What do you mean we don't want that narrative in there? It's like I don't know. It's like saying to anyone's real story, but can we just cut out the part where that really happened? Like, okay, then what am I watching?
Yes. And that's
Purple Rain, essentially.
And that's what he said. And like, here's where it gets really fucking weird. So because of the deal this director signed with Netflix, and then boom, there was a Netflix agreement with the Prince estate, he could technically release this documentary. However, they're not going to give him any music if they don't make the cuts he wants.
I'd take it without music.
Oh, boy.
Would you?
No.
The only way you would see this is if you could hear the music?
Yeah. And here's why. When we watched the Sinead O'Connor documentary and Nothing Compares to You, and the whole lead up was Nothing Compares to You, and Prince's estate owned that song.
Right, but...
All we wanted to hear was just the beginning of that. Give me 2 sentences of...
No, we wanted the eyes open, right?
Yeah.
And the thing.
That's what we all want. And that was the elephant in the room in the entire doc. And we're sitting there watching it for 90 minutes, and we're like, what the fuck?
I will say with the Sinead, though, I mean, it was just her voice. We didn't have any real interviews with anyone. So that was a weird documentary that nothing got signed off. Do you know what I mean? Like, we didn't get a pic, like, her talking. It was her over tape or recording herself.
Sure.
You know, that kind of thing where you're like, this is totally unauthorized. But Prince, I feel like this director has footage and is able to put together a story. And clearly family members are doing interviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did say, though...
Could we live without? I don't know.
He did say the challenging part was going through the entire vault. He's one of few people to do it. He goes, look, there was a ton of concert footage. And he goes, I could have made a Prince concert movie
Right.
and this could have been, this amazing thing. Because that's a totally different movie. He also said, going through all this footage, the only candid stuff of him not musically that was in there was videos on like a camcorder, like an old school camcorder shot by ex-girlfriends and things like that. And he goes, it was interesting, but all of the footage as a whole was just heavily curated the same way he curated his own life. So all of the secrets and all the things that, we want to hear, I don't know that we would have gotten it. So I think the other interviews and all that other stuff really would have shown what he is and why he did the things he did. Because I always contend that he was just doing this as a bit. Always.
Yeah, maybe.
Always.
Just because like everyone has or had at that time just a cool Prince story.
Yeah.
And that's a bit, right? That's someone that walks in the room and like wants there to be a weird story about him as opposed to just like going and having a good time.
Yeah.
He's like, how can I make this a story that people are going to tell? Just being fucking Prince, being weird, making pancakes. I don't know what he does.
All the things.
Yeah,
is
like
what
basketball and
Prince
pancakes
does.
or whatever.
Yeah, and they said there was one ex-girlfriend, I guess, that was interviewed for it. This is never going to see the light of day, so it's not like I'm spoiling or anything.
Yeah.
But there was one ex-girlfriend that said right before the Purple Rain premiere, I guess when they were in the limo going to the thing, and he was really nervous and like scared, I guess. And finally, the manager, the lawyer, whatever, is just like, hey, man, you got to snap out of this. Like, you're the biggest fucking star in the world, so go be Prince. Yeah. And he just looked at him and was like, oh, you're right. And then he got out and was Prince,
Okay.
So, yeah. It sucks for me because I'm a gigantic fan, obviously. But, yeah, do you really want to know all that stuff is the question.
I mean, I would because I'm not as big. Love Prince, obviously, but you're like die hard. So maybe you don't want to know.
I don't think I do. It's
I'm
like,
down.
It's like our friends who are Michael Jackson fans. It's like, damn, man, do you really want to know all that shit? Probably
No.
not.
You know what? I used to.
You used to want to know?
I used to want to know lots about the artists I cared the most about.
I did, Bob. I'm with you. I did too.
I used to.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of grew up, and all I want is the art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to valorize people. I don't want I don't want heroes.
Yep.
I just want the stuff, and then like thank you, and I'll give you money for it. Obviously,
Yep.
The way I'd give you money for a sandwich or whatever. But like, I just don't want to know anything about them really any more than I want to know about the guy making my food at Subway.
I'd like to know more about him.
Yeah, he's an
The
artist
Subway.
as well.
No, I mean just
Yeah.
because he's touching my food, right?
Oh, you want to
I
know his
want to know
backstory,
more
his origin
about
story? Sure.
the Subway guy.
Do you?
I don't go to Subway, you know that. For a while. For a long time.
There was
I've
actually
been
the Subway.
off Subway.
The
but
Subway by our old studio, I wanted to know everything about the people that worked there.
yeah, because it was
Meth
probably
addicts.
like
It was these,
fascinating.
It was these methy high school
Yes.
girls who were there all the time during school working.
Yep.
Like their
Yep.
grandma pulled them out of school, like, you know, I cover your shift today. Yeah. Got to cover Daryl's shift
I
today.
think you figured it out. I think you got it. I think you got everything you needed just from meeting them.
Yeah, that book had the whole plot on the cover.
But the delusion that we want these people that are super talented or high-level athletes or, you know, just insanely, like, you know, culture makers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This idea that we want them to be normal, as we know on the show, is bullshit. That we want these people, like we watched the Hope Solo thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Do you
yeah.
think somebody that is that fucking crazy, that elite, that great, why do you also need her to be awesome, right? Like a great, like fun person, like, you know, a Shia LaBeouf, we talked about this before. Fucking amazing. Why do you need him to be like a great adjusted person outside of it? By the way, it's not going to work. It doesn't work.
I just think, Bob, I'm with you. I just think I just don't want to know anymore. Like, I really don't want to know.
It's not even out of cynicism. It doesn't do me any good.
No.
It doesn't make the art better if they donate to charity, and it doesn't make it worse if they did something horrible.
Yeah. I like, the more and more I get older, the more and more I'm like, all right, cool. I don't want to know about it anymore. Like, yeah. And it's because it's happening a lot. And that's probably one of the biggest questions I get when I'm out. I got it a lot this weekend of like, hey, man, tell me about so-and-so that you worked with or whatever. And I was like, do you really want to hear that they're a terrible person or whatever? Like, probably not. Mm-hmm. You know, you just like their stuff. I'm able to separate, you know, the art from the artist. But, yeah, I'll go back to that MLK thing. Like, I don't want the government to release those phone calls. I think it's, 2029 or 2030? Like, I just don't want that.
I don't think it's, well, maybe some of it's phone calls, but some of it is just straight up
wiretapping
in his room. Yeah.
And I know they're supposed to, it's like, no, man, we're good. Let people have their own memory. And like, that was, 60 years ago, whatever the fuck it is. So, yeah. So this one, nothing will ever happen. However, the Michael Jackson one is still going. So that's coming out next year. And
the biopic?
Yes. I think they're done shooting, actually. I think they wrapped. But somebody got a hold of the script, one of the kids that got touched, and said that they just fucking whitewashed the entire thing.
Yes, of course. Because why? The family has this.
The estate has the shit.
That's why I said I'm not watching that one at all.
Biopics are useless now.
That's what I said.
They used to be.
Saying.
Yeah, they used to be interesting and whatever, and now it literally is just like a propaganda piece for the person.
Yeah, it's like
and the
it's
band.
a PR for the family, for the whoever,
like
so that the estate can keep fucking going and making sure that the family still has fucking money. Because you take that down, the people that are invested still and alive, they don't like it.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they're still getting in the club off the name or whatever, eating at Mi Piace at the front table because you're related to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And you don't want to change that.
No, you sure don't.
You don't want to get that taken away.
Tito. I used to see Tito out all the time in L.A.
Yeah,
he's Tito Jackson.
Yeah, they lean in.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
Yeah. I don't know how many brothers are still alive, but I used to see Tito. I felt like every weekend somewhere, and I was just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
You've got to be exhausted being Tito Jackson. Is there more brothers left?
Let's see. Jackson family
The
Wikipedia.
Randy one, I think, was the one that came into Mi Piace all the time and really just made sure everyone knew before he sat down that he was there, that he's a Jackson,
They're all still alive except for Joe, Michael, and so Joe the dad, obviously.
Yeah.
Michael, and then I guess they had a kid die in infancy.
Oh, shit.
Which is why it's not the Jackson 6.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
They take that off.
Yeah.
Bob, we're not asking about all of that, are we?
Yeah, I wanted
We're
to know.
asking about the ones that we know, which ones are alive.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Jermaine alive, Latoya alive, Randy alive,
Yeah.
Janet alive.
Alive.
Alive, dude.
Alive and well.
Yeah.
Janet.
There's also, there's a lot.
I know.
There's Catherine.
Yep, so that's the mom.
Okay. Rebby.
Oh.
Rebby's the oldest.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Jackie.
Jackie, I know.
And then Tito, Jermaine, Latoya, Marlon.
Yeah.
You know who I'm surprised? Latoya being still alive.
Yeah, that's a shocker. That's a shocker.
Can we
to
get
me.
a current pick?
Oh, don't do that, guys. Don't do
I'm
that.
just saying it's surprising.
She looks like Michael. Have you seen her now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went that way for sure.
Whoa, that looks like
Actually,
Wendy
that
Williams.
doesn't look too
Looks
horrible.
identical to Michael. If you wanted to have sex with a female version of Michael Jackson, that's
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's identical. Holy shit.
Nope.
Holy shit.
If you can think it, I guess somebody's
Well, you're just kind
wanting
of
to do it.
bleaching your skin here.
And then
Mindy,
the work.
Mindy Kaling was accused of that over the weekend. What? Yeah, pull up her pictures.
Oh well, she did. She was a lot darker on the first season of The Office.
That's what everybody's saying. And they showed a recent picture of her. I was like, oh, shit. I don't really pay attention to her that much, so I don't follow her. But they posted it, and I was like, okay.
I mean, yeah, she did.
They just had trouble lighting her, I think.
Also, it's worth noting that just because you're brown doesn't mean you still can't change shades of brown naturally.
Yeah.
Like the Mexican girl I dated, dude, if she didn't tan like in the winter, she was pretty pale. Like not super pale, but like there was a big difference between summer and winter for her. Like a huge
for
difference.
sure. For sure.
Did we know about this?
Oh, yeah.
Gal? Oh.
No, I didn't know about Bob's in particular, gal, but I know about that.
Kind
And
of
I know,
rolled off the tongue, didn't it? The
Yeah,
Mexican gal.
it sure did.
Yeah.
My Mexican. We dated for 2 years in college.
It was excellent. What?
He's just
Delco.
he's just trying to get fucking like valor for
Yeah,
dating a
was she-
Mexican.
What?
What's he getting? What kind of valor? Delco, stop.
Interracial relationships, and that's
No,
nice.
Dan's mad that I'm stealing his thunder because he's
Oh,
the
'cause
interracial guy.
Yeah, because he loves a Latina.
Yeah, sure does. But yeah, it's a thing in cultures. Like even Asians will wear like longer sleeves because they don't want to be confused with like people that work in the patties, and it's a whole thing for sure.
No.
Yo, yeah. What do you think the hats?
Asians and Latinos actually still do
Yeah.
consider light skin. But I guess that's a thing in the black community too, right?
Yep.
Is that they don't consider it, but they get angry that like light skinned people get more opportunities and stuff like that.
Like they don't
Yes.
think Drake should say the M word.
Yeah,
Yes,
and he shouldn't.
yeah.
I kind of agree with that.
I
Yeah.
don't think
But
he
in
should.
the case of Mindy, it's work. Like you've gotten work done. Do you know what I mean?
Sure,
And that was part of the work that she got done.
that's just being rich right there.
Yeah.
Poor all the way. Pop up that picture.
Yeah.
Poor all the way on the left. Rich.
That was her in The Office. My God,
Season
I
1.
do
Yeah.
not
Yes. It's worth noting.
remember that.
Worth noting, you can skip the entire season of season 1 of The
Sure
Office.
can.
I mean,
Sure can.
this
It
is
gets
also,
good in season 2.
Yeah.
The
I agree.
Office also came out in like peak tanning culture, 2005.
Like she may have tanned.
She may have been darker on purpose, and then you just stopped laying out. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons she could be darker and then lighter. I'm saying is she's not making herself light. I'm disagreeing with the people talking shit on her for lightening her skin. I'm
Got it,
pro
because
Mindy
of
whatever
your
shade she wants.
Personal experience with the Mexican gals.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And
no.
what are Indians but the Mexicans of Asia? So I'm an expert on
So
this. I know
Very
everything
true.
about.
True. Yep.
Very true. A lot of people call them the Mexicans of Asia.
Yep.
Yeah.
And saying that.
Yep.
A lot of them do. There it is. I knew it
And
was
then
coming.
the Asian gong. Yeah.
There it is. The old Mexican. Yeah.
Yeah, if we could just
Little
blend those
crossover.
so nice together. Yeah.
Just
yeah.
blending cultures
Everybody knows
together.
that they say that.
They
yeah.
sure do. Always have.
A good fusion.
Yeah, it's a Mexican Indian fusion.
Haven't
here.
seen that much though. Those two food fusion though, is there?
Some curry tacos.
Torchy's
No.
actually does a Indian taco of the month.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. They try weird shit.
Because they're not a real taco
yeah,
spot.
it's fucking gringo shit for sure.
I love it. I love torchies
Yes.
I
because
do
I
too.
like white tacos.
We famously are white.
yes.
So
A lot of sour cream.
A lot of
on those
flour
tacos.
tortillas.
yes.
I prefer authenticity. The best tacos you could get are at a gas station.
Yeah, I don't.
Autentico.
I
Yeah.
don't. No, shitting through a screen door sometimes out of those.
He actually owes me gas station tacos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Get him for lunch today. Get him for
There
lunch
you
today.
go.
There you go.
Sweet
Do you
boys.
think who was it? Matt Damon. Do you think he took J-Lo to a Mexican taco place?
What is that?
I don't know. And it's been going around, and I saw it this morning. And they
So-
met up for dinner, and they were holding
Right.
hands, and he was just listening and consoling her, I guess, for about 20 minutes. But there's a picture of it that's floating around. Just type in them holding hands there. There it
Now,
is right there. Boom.
She's Puerto Rican, correct?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's Jenny from the block. I imagine she's Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure.
Yes, she's not Mexican
Who's the-
at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was born in the Bronx, but I believe she's either Puerto Rican or Dominican.
You can, if you're Hispanic in the Bronx, you're Puerto Rican.
yeah.
Yeah,
by default,
well,
yeah.
by default.
Dominican?
Yeah, you could be. You could be. But I'm looking at this picture here, and it's a bizarre one. I don't know why he's got his head down praying for her maybe. Not real sure what's going on because she's still doing her hair. And that's why Ben Affleck got out of there right there, is that's all she did with her hair all day long was this. And he was just like, if you touch your fucking hair one more goddamn time, I'm gonna lose my shit. Right. And Matt Damon was just like, I'm gonna ride this out, have a nice convo, and move on down the road here.
So, this is, which people were kind of waiting for this moment to happen because Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are producers of her new movie, Unstoppable, that's coming out.
On Netflix? The one that we made fun of?
No, it's coming out.
Yeah.
I think it's a drama. No.
Okay, another one?
Yeah. So they
God,
were
how many
producers.
fucking movies does she
She's got a
have?
couple in the fucking can.
Jeez.
Yeah. But I think this is drama. I don't know if this is a documentary, right?
Yeah, it's about. Let me see if this is the right.
think
Yeah. So she's actually kind of maybe the lead, but it's not about her. It's around the life of wrestler Anthony Robles, who had one leg and won a national championship at Arizona State in 2011.
Yeah, so she's in it. They both produced it. So Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. So this was the kind of thing that was coming up where people were like, Ben didn't show up. And by the way, do we need the producers there? Yeah, I guess if you're Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, we do need you there. So he went, and I'm sure it was you know what I mean? He's there, Ben's not. She's like, oh, maybe I thought he maybe would just like show up. I don't know what the conversation is. I'm just kind of doing.
I'm dying to know.
I'm doing like girl sleuth where it's like, okay, they were going to this premiere. She knew he was going to be there, but not Ben. You know, Matt has to be there and is kind of like wanting to keep the peace as far as the press of this movie is concerned. We don't want to piss J-Lo off. We'll sit and hold her hand and have a conversation. I'm sure he already talked to Ben about it. Hey, look, she's going to want to talk to me. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
I'm just looking at the two of them, and he's just he's fighting through it.
He's not. He's
God, he just wants to get out of there.
yes, like he's listening, or they got him right when he put his head down of like she's telling him like, and then he was hanging out with Kick.
Yeah.
And Matt
Kick
Damon's
Kennedy.
like, they have his head down like, I know, dude. Like, I know, but what do you want me to do, J-Lo? Can we just get this premiere out of the way?
Yeah. Now it's done. He doesn't have to deal with it anymore. But I guarantee you that limo ride on the way over, because he's got a normal wife who doesn't give a fuck about any of this shit, that he was just telling her, he was like, look, babe, I got to just do this thing, suck it up and get out of here, and then we'll never see her again, hopefully. Hopefully.
Right. And I'm sure Matt Damon, when Ben was partnering all of them up in these future projects, I'm sure Matt Damon was like, buddy, can
we not?
Buddy.
Can we not?
Can we maybe like...
It's different this time. It's different this time. It's
all
not
right,
different,
man.
Ben.
He's best friends with an addict. Like, he knows what's up. He knows, like, he's going to have to do damage control,
Yeesh.
which is, I think, the headline of this. You know, damage control on whatever Ben has put into motion and then fucked off and left. I don't know.
Poor Matt. Because he did it right. He did it all right, and then he's got to just hang around for his fucking best friend who just keeps fucking it up.
Yes, but now listen, he did it right, but he would be living in old man normal life obscurity if he didn't keep in contact with his chaotic...
Very true.
His chaotic, in the headlines always friend, Ben Affleck. He knows it. Ben knows it.
Yeah.
They just have to make it work. And they do. They do make it work.
And
it's the only relationship that Ben Affleck has kept.
Yeah. And there's
Long
only a couple of them, and they're still banging away at movies. You got Clooney and Pitt, who are doing that new movie Wolves together, and they're trying to squeeze out every last dime they can, and they're riding this out. And then so are these guys. They're pumping out movies as well by both being in it now, which is great, or having been directed, which is awesome.
Yes.
So those will be greenlit immediately.
The only thing we have to do, which we kind of have that issue here too, is just keep the girlfriends out
Yeah.
of the situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or wives. You know what I mean? Just keep
Sure.
the distraction and the problems out of the business.
And I'm sure Matt Damon got home and was just like, hey, dude, can you just call Anna de Armas and let's get her back into things? Like, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be a good time
She's
for everyone.
very good too.
Yeah. And what is she, 20s?
Whose
She's
girlfriend
20s, right?
is that? Delco or Bob or both?
No.
Delco.
Oh, yeah. What is she?
Delco's
She's in her
girlfriend.
20s, right?
She's
Nah.
36.
Really?
She's older than me.
But I
Shit.
think she's
Okay.
like Bob's ex. I think she's Latina a little bit. No,
Yeah, a little bit.
She's Cubano.
Yeah, she
right.
was
So
speaking.
that's
She had a Cubano accent halfway through
in
Maryland.
Maryland, yeah.
Sure
so.
did. Still nominated for an Oscar, though.
Well, she had
Still
some
nominated for
fun
an
with the
Oscar.
role. You know what I mean? It wasn't straightforward Maryland. You know what I mean? It was interpretation.
It was.
It was abstract.
It was. Saw her nude a lot in that. Sure, Delco's seen that movie probably 17 times on Netflix.
I've never listened to it, but I have seen it.
You muted it and you were like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm just going to watch.
Could not do with the
Yeah, I understand it. This weekend was NFL kickoff. Great game on Thursday nights. Congratulations, Delco, on Friday night. Called that one, too. It was a great weekend
Dude,
of gambling.
can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
What a dud of a game.
Which one?
Like, it was a great game.
On
Don't get
Friday?
me wrong, but the broadcast, the environment, going down to Brazil.
Yep.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know, and they're going to kill their own product by doing it, and we'll chat about it later today. But a couple things happened this weekend that was super interesting. One, Tom Brady's announcing now.
Okay.
Turns out we finally found one thing that Tom Brady isn't good at, and it's that.
Still got the bag.
I think we knew he wasn't, though, right?
I didn't know.
They
What
spent
did you think he was going to all of a sudden, like, know how to
I
turn it on?
I thought he was good at the end of the roast, and I thought maybe there was a Peyton thing hidden inside of him, like Peyton Manning. There's not.
No.
And that's just boring.
$300 million.
Yep. Gone.
For
Just
him?
gone. Yes.
For him.
Yes.
And you had a
For
great
how long?
guy. You had Greg Olson.
10 years.
He's doing that for 10 years?
10 years. $300 million, 30 a year. So that's what you're going to listen to. And they put him on a terrible game. It was Cowboys versus Browns, and it was just like,
That's supposed to be a
That
good
should have been a
game.
good game, yeah.
Well-
Cowboys just fucking rolled.
Deshaun Watson's never coming back, and I told you that.
He died
But-
on that massage table.
But the other big announcement, which is, two things. Roger Goodell says he's going to put 18 games next year in other countries. That's terrible. And then they announced, which they never do this early, who the halftime performer was for the Super Bowl. They never do it. It's in New Orleans. Who's your guess, if you don't know?
In New Orleans?
Yep. Who would have been the first person you guessed?
Well,
Good.
a Taylor, but she's not going to.
No. Weasley.
Wheezy F, baby, Lil Wayne.
Is that who I should have guessed?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh,
is.
sorry.
Lil
Like
Wayne, New Orleans?
I
That's
don't-
like he is New Orleans.
Okay.
Well, they didn't do that.
They
They
didn't do
didn't
it.
do it. Okay, who?
I
didn't do
actually
it.
think we might get a Taylor cameo.
In whoever
The
this
Super
is?
Bowl, yeah. For
Oh, shit.
Well, we're definitely getting a Little Wayne cameo.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a Lil Wayne cameo. It's Kendrick Lamar, who I love. Love Kendrick Lamar. I just wish it was for L.A., not for New Orleans. Like, we have Lil Wayne. Are we forgetting how great he was?
He was, but
Give him his fucking flowers. Let him do the fucking Super Bowl.
There's
Have
also
him.
Not reliable.
a lot of bad, too.
That's a lot. So,
lot of
okay.
bad.
So, a lot of people
He's
are saying that
canceled
too.
a lot of stuff recently.
Oh, I just meant
that's
his
what I've
music.
heard.
I just meant his music. Like, there's a lot of bad Little Wayne music.
Well, when you put
Not
out
enough.
50,000 songs, you're going to miss.
Did you like that rock album?
I did not. I did not like that at all. And I love Lil Wayne. I just did not like that album at all. But maybe, so I've heard what you said.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that he's canceled a lot of stuff. He's been forgetting lyrics a lot at some of these shows. And maybe they didn't want to fuck up in front of 190 million people around the world.
It's
yeah.
has everything to do with what was in the styrofoam cup, you know? He's
Well-
got a syrup problem.
It's not a problem anymore. He had a heart attack on a private jet. They had to land it. One of our buddies was on that it was a music video. And he said straight up, he goes, look, you were the ones that tried to take me off this shit. And he goes, that's why I had a goddamn heart attack. He goes, let me live my life and drink syrup.
Okay,
So
but
he's drinking syrup.
He's drinking syrup and then he's forgetting lyrics and not
Yeah, his
reading.
brain is fried.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And I think that was why they tried to get him off of it, because he was, he's a little bit of like drug addict vibes as far as the amount of money he was getting. But go ahead.
But Bob might have cracked the code. One of his biggest songs was with Taylor Swift.
Well, so he has a lyric on Taylor Swift's, arguably her biggest song,
Right.
Bad Blood.
Yes.
He has.
He did the remix.
Yes.
Kendrick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's in the music video.
I didn't even think about that, dude. Holy shit. Okay. All right. That'd be fun. But she also deserves her own show, too. Has she not done it yet?
She hasn't done the Super Bowl yet, no.
Interesting.
She's not going to be a guest.
She doesn't
I don't think
need-
so
probably
either.
not.
Yeah.
The problem is, like, she doesn't need to. And famously,
No.
like, Super Bowl is, they don't pay you, right?
Right.
You kind of take care of everything, and it's this big kind of
Usually go on tour the next day,
commercial
drop
for
out an
you.
album
yeah,
next day.
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
she does not need to do that.
Yeah.
She doesn't need any more.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't need any more people coming to the show. She doesn't need to, say that there's a new album or whatever. So it's for people that, this would benefit something coming up for them.
Okay. Now,
Most of the time.
Also, do you think she's actually just like nice enough that she potentially wouldn't want to take away from Travis's stage?
I think she
so.
is. I think she is, actually. I think she is.
Yeah, I think so. I think she knows everything. She knows everything that
Everything.
people are saying.
Yeah,
She knows how people feel. She knows the backlash. She knows what people like. And she's not going to do anything that's going to make those people, anyone, feel any type of way other than we love you and you're perfect.
Yep. And that love contract was, I guarantee her people have that on file. That's just a part of their file. They update it every single month, and that's it, because she's so in control of everything she does in this world.
Yes.
You're right. I don't think she would. I don't think she would.
No.
But
because
it is interesting.
everything in her life, and I've come to respect it. Whereas before I used to call her a cold-hearted snake, and she knows exactly what she's doing. But she does, every single thing in her life is calculated. So Travis is cool with that, obviously. So he's good. He knows about the contracts. He knows about all the stuff because he knows that she is 100% a curated person in every way.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's going along with it. They were somewhere dancing together the other night, and looked like he was wearing some German outfit.
U.S.
Okay,
Open.
yeah, were we
it's
going to
the
talk
US
about
Open?
this, Bob?
Yeah, pop it up. I just saw it for the first time because I was traveling, so I didn't see what happened. Did they go to the men's or women's finals?
Men's.
Men's, okay. Who was it, Sinner versus Fritz?
Sinner Fritz, yeah,
Okay.
Sinner rolled.
We like Fritz. He was the guy from the Netflix docs. Remember the guy whose dad wanted him to win so bad?
The American
Yeah.
guy? Yeah.
He actually made it to the U.S. Open
I know.
final, and he lost.
He was the one that I was going to be like, oh man, his dad is just going to be so
I told
disappointed.
Bob that. I told Bob that,
The
right
pressure
before
is
they
like
played.
too much, and then he actually just fucking did it. And you're
See,
like, oh.
tennis dads are the ultimate stage moms for men.
100.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
tennis dads are fucking psychos.
Yeah. Tennis dads.
So what are we
maybe
about to
golf
see
dad, but
here?
Yeah.
We're about to see.
So the headline, though, is like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce slammed for trash behavior, right? At the U.S. Open.
Oh, God.
Let's see.
Singing.
Having a good time. How dare you?
Sing along to The Darkness is a Thing Called Love. So they sing, believe in a thing called love.
Yeah, so we can't
Yeah.
play the music,
Oh, okay.
obviously.
Gotcha.
Right. And it's not trashy. It's just kind of like,
They're not even the only ones doing it, by the way.
No. The U.S. Open is a fucking party, by the way. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about this. I'm more concerned with his bucket hat.
well,
He's also not
A man
incredibly
should-
enthused about it.
yeah, he's not loving. I think they're slamming because he's not really
I don't think
loving
he's
it.
drinking. She's drinking. It looks like she's partying. He's not drinking because he's playing, I think.
Okay, so
That's
he's
my
kind of
guess.
like, all right, girl, get it. I'll drive you home.
Yeah. He's like, I got a fucking game, bro.
But anyways, the other thing they're saying is that's Brittany Mahomes next to them.
Oh, it is to the right.
Right.
Okay.
And there's some kind of articles that are just like she looks kind of annoyed, or do you know what I mean?
I thought they were hugging during the U.S. Open.
They were hugging during the U.S. Open.
But they're kind of showing a couple different angles and things of this where it's like Britney seems cringe or so. I don't know.
I don't even think she's paying attention. To be
She's
honest
not.
with you.
No.
Probably this look right here. Pat is right off screen to the right.
Yes.
Yeah.
She goes right here. She's like, hold
Yeah,
on.
she's
like,
cute.
what?
What?
She's not paying attention. She doesn't
No,
give a
she's
fuck.
not paying attention.
The only thing I can do without is the little air guitar movement. Other than that, so cute. It really is so cute.
Yeah, I don't care one single fuck about this. And
No.
It's not. If you've been to the U.S. Open or up there, it's a party. They'll tell you to be quiet, and then you got to be quiet. And
But
they're playing music and everything else.
it's a shit show. This tournament in particular, McEnroe and Fowler and them kept being like, God, it is loud in here.
Yes.
And not loud like cheering. Like it was just like every point. It's just like at a bar.
It's a
like
party.
a loud
It's a
bar. Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing at a bar in New York, and that's the way it should be.
Great. Yeah.
Sorry if you can't concentrate and fucking play, you don't deserve to be there.
If you're a big boy, you're allowed to wear a bucket hat.
Who's ever pulled it off in the history of the country?
You're just allowed to be. If you're that big, you're allowed to do it.
But he's not pulling it off.
Yeah, of course you're allowed. We're not going to like call the cops.
No,
but
I'm saying like no one's gonna fuck with you. Like if you're a smaller man, say you're 5'6" and you're wearing a bucket hat, people are picking that off your head left and right.
Correct.
Oh, is that the move? Okay.
It is, because you're just like, dude, you're not wearing bucket hats. But I've never seen it look good on a dude. Maybe, I think LL Cool J was the only person ever. And it was a Kangol.
What about your boy Peter Malnati? When he won.
That's terrible.
With a color, he had a multicolored ball. And
Terrible.
he
I
also had a bucket hat.
remember. Yeah, he looked like a clown. He looked like a fucking clown. So besides the bucket hat, I don't have an issue with this. And,
besides
like,
the
bro,
air guitar moment, I love all of this too.
it happens. So
Oh, it happens. I
don't
know.
care.
I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to see all sides.
Yeah.
You know?
Would you want that? Every single moment of your life being analyzed like that?
I
No.
just had this conversation.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Is there
But by the way,
an amount of
she
fame
does.
or money that is worth that?
She does. I don't.
No.
And no.
No. I literally just had this conversation with Clayne 2 weeks ago, because Glenn Powell is massively fucking famous now, and like there has to be extra security around everywhere and everything else, and everything is curated through publicists and all that other stuff because he's huge now. He's the dude. He is the fucking movie star right now. The young guy, at least for our generation right now. And it gets to a point where no, and you got to answer for all this shit everywhere you go.
Well, you don't, though, but yeah. I'm sure there's part of you that's like, oh, okay, fine, like, doesn't love it.
No.
But you also don't have to even pay attention if you don't want.
Correct. But they're having a good time at the U.S.
Yes.
Open. You're like, hey, dude, I don't want to answer for this every fucking second.
Right.
And that bucket hat, I really just, man, that's grinding at my gears.
But don't you think if you had this kind of heat on you all the time, you would do ridiculous stuff like that to be like, all right, motherfuckers.
I could also
Here's
see
my
you.
suspenders and bucket hat.
I could see you rocking like a hard AF bucket hat.
No, we tried one. They brought him over, and I was like, no, it doesn't work. Sorry.
Okay.
They don't work. I wanted to give you guys an update on the Rainey Street Ripper. This is a story that we're going to keep tackling here.
We're going to have to.
We're going to have to. The episode exploded when you guys did Street Gonzo, you and Bob. And there was a lot of people curious if Bob actually lived that night. He did.
He did.
He did live.
Made it home safe and sound.
Yeah. Did somebody drive you home that night?
Jesus took the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean, Jesus? You're talking about an Uber?
And we gave him a lot of steaks too.
Hey,
Okay,
So
good.
he was,
That
protein.
he was eating with his hands, yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So
accurate,
he
yeah.
was
Good.
You know.
Yeah, I've got that Super Cruise now, so I pressed the button on the way home the other night, and man, it's awesome.
Nice.
Just went all the way home. Until you hit that construction, you're good. It recognizes everything, and I was like, this changes lanes for you too, and puts the turn signals on, which I was like, all right, let's rock. Now, what's the update that we have here?
So there's been a couple kind of articles floating around and accounts of people saying, we don't want to go down this road, but saying that the Rainey Street Ripper may be, in fact, a woman, right?
Whoa.
A woman, a couple of women.
Okay.
There was a story a while back that I believe we shared on this with a woman who was arrested for drugging people on West 6th Street.
Yes.
Men, now we hear about obviously the bodies that wash up, but there are plenty of other guys who hit Rainey and West and stuff like that, the bro hangouts, and say, like, I was drugged. Like, I don't remember what happened. I was taken home or I got in a car, but, like, I blacked out after 2 drinks. I was for sure drugged. Those stories, for every body that washes up, there's, like, 10 of those stories at least.
Are they getting robbed, by the way?
So a lot of them.
The bodies?
Are. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, hard to tell if before or after, but yeah.
Okay.
So, like, it could be a thing where they get drugged and the scheme is starting to work but doesn't work. And then when you let somebody leave your site and go off while drugged, and you're like, oh, well, that was a waste of whatever, let's try another one.
Yeah.
Something bad happens to that person that stumbles down to the creek and either stumbles on somebody's house down there, which we saw a couple people's full-on houses by the trees. You know what I mean? You stumble into the wrong whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know. Not really sure about bodies and drugging connection as far as like this, the women and whatever things that are actually being reported by the people that live. We don't know about people that the drugging went really bad.
Got it.
So this is, and we'd love for Bob to read as just like a, mostly yourself, but just kind of a normal bro.
Just a bro who hit the
Just
town.
a bro who moved into town and,
Is this on Reddit right now?
It was posted to the Austin Reddit 8 days ago. We had it queued up last week, but we ran out of time.
Well, this is why we care so much, is this is happening right down the street from us.
Yeah.
We've been to all these bars and restaurants in real life. So, yeah, we want to find out what the fuck is going on down here.
It could be me one day.
Yeah.
Right.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe had we let Bob really figure it out that night, you would have been drugged.
Yeah.
Something
Come
would have
on.
either, now listen to this story, but
I'm a
like
friendly guy.
friendly guy, end of the night, if we let him stay all the way till like a 1 or 2, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Just saying.
All right.
And it doesn't help. Like, women know they can take advantage of me. I always get propositioned, or not anymore because they're not there anymore. But back in the day on Bourbon Street, dude, hookers used to come up to me all the time.
No shit.
Which I was just like, dude, is that what I look like?
You're
Did I
a
need
mark.
you?
You're a mark.
I'm a
and
mark.
I'm
I'm a
sorry.
mark. If the 3 of us walk into a strip club, I am Mr. Popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they know,
Yeah.
or they think they know. They don't know, but they think they
Right.
know.
You have an ex that was Mexican.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got
They
a
don't know
Mexican.
that.
Yeah.
They
don't
think they
nothing.
know you, but they
know me.
don't.
Yeah, they don't know me.
All right, let's see with this bruiser, what happened to him.
It's titled, She Drugged Me and Took My Phone and Cards.
Yeah.
Pretty straight to the point.
I love
huh?
it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I'd read that book all
Same
day.
here. Same here.
I'm new to Austin. If you remember, I mentioned that I would be moving to Austin from LA after my graduation in June. This is my 2nd month in Austin, and I've been alone the entire time, preparing for interviews and job hunting. Yesterday, I decided I needed to change the mood a bit, and I took a trip downtown just to have a drink and then head back home. The night started off smoothly. The week before, I had been scrolling through Reddit to see where to go, and I noticed many people advised staying away from East 6th Street. So I initially followed that advice, avoiding Congress Avenue and trying to find a cool spot on the west side. However, it was too quiet, and I eventually made a detour and ended up back to Dirty 6th. So yes, I ended up on 6th Street after all. I didn't really enjoy it, and by 1:20 a.m., that's not one drink, 1:20 in the morning, you've been there all night.
Yeah.
I know. I have a lot more questions for this guy than I get answers, but go ahead.
Yeah. I decided to call it a night. On my way out, I encountered a girl who was about to take a bicycle cab to the west side of the street. She mentioned I could hop in and join her. She looked cute, so I thought, why not? The cab pulled over, and she suggested we get a drink. We did, and we had a chill conversation. At the end of the night, she said she'd love to go back to my place for more drinks. Obviously, I was excited about that. I'm single and lonely, so I saw this as an opportunity to have some fun. But it turned out to be the worst decision ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have told you that.
We walked to my car and drove home. I had one little shot of Fireball left, and I told her that was all I had. She seemed okay with it and poured herself a drink, which
What?
she's sipping on it?
Yeah, wait, so he has one. Come back to my place. I have literally one little thing of Fireball.
That we could split.
That happens.
Yeah.
She's like, sounds awesome.
He wasn't expecting to hook up that night.
no.
That happens.
Yeah,
That
for
happens, yeah.
sure. But then like she pours a drink and he has just a little bit, I think. But
All
yeah.
I have is vermouth. I'm sorry. You know?
Yeah.
About 20 minutes later, I start feeling strange, but wasn't sure what was wrong. I went to the bathroom and tried to make myself throw up, thinking it was just a normal reaction to alcohol. At some point, she suggested going to bed. We went, but I couldn't get an erection.
Well,
Okay.
I was fighting to stay awake. But I couldn't. This was around 2:50 a.m. The next thing I knew, I woke up and she was gone. My phone and my secondary wallet were also missing. Luckily, the first thing I did when we entered my apartment was to hide my main wallet.
Who has two wallets?
Yeah, I have
who
questions.
has two wallets and only one sip of Fireball at their house?
Yeah.
Which one is the predator?
Yeah. What's
Sounds like it's him.
Can we talk about okay.
Yeah.
Does everyone have a secondary wallet?
No.
Okay.
No,
okay.
no.
Listen, I don't know. I'm learning. Go ahead.
I went into panic mode, frantically searching for my phone, but it was gone. I realized I had been robbed, but the worst part was that this was just the beginning. I immediately pulled out my laptop to locate my iPhone, but couldn't sign into my Apple ID. She had changed the password. I tried to reset it, but it asked for my phone number, which I didn't have access to. So I was locked out of my Apple account and everything tied to it. While I was chatting with Apple support, at 3:50 a.m., I received notifications on my email, which I thankfully still had access to. The first one was from Venmo. She had begun linking different bank accounts to my Venmo. I tried to change the password, but couldn't as it required my phone. Then she started making purchases, 2 or 3 different transactions for various amounts, around $200.
This is the nightmare part.
Yeah.
Like, because from trying to get in the phone and do all these fucking things, if you don't have your phone to get that text, that verification,
Yep.
you're done.
You're done, yeah.
They won't even let you try on another device, right?
Does he not have a passcode?
He passed out and she put his face up to the phone.
Yeah, but
and then you change the passcode.
Or
She's
it
gotta
could be
keep it open the whole time, then.
but it could be a fingerprint, and she could have just popped that print up there.
Yeah, he was completely past, like, blackout. We don't know if he even
Or
was
just
like,
a face.
okay, go ahead.
Just a face to open it up too.
Right, but if she's doing it as he's contacting support,
No,
she had to
she
keep the whole
opened
thing.
it
She opened it with
and
his face.
changed the passcode.
Changed everything with his face.
Oh, wow.
So then
out.
she was able to basically make that phone, her phone, get all the text verifications, although still a little iffy, but go ahead.
She also logged into my Amex account and initiated a $500 transfer. I was watching this happen in real time, completely powerless. I couldn't call anyone, and everything I tried to do required a phone call or a password change, which also required my phone. So I decided to wake my neighbor to help me out. This is a long, detailed post, and I can share the rest if people are curious, but the point is, this is just another scary story from 6th Street. The week before, I had read it was dangerous, but thought, no, that stuff only happens to others. But it happened to me.
Yeah.
Please stay safe out there.
Stay safe.
Yeah, we were telling you to.
Yep.
And you decided to say, hey guys, I didn't listen.
Oh.
Guess what happened?
That's what happens, guys.
So here's for those asking how she got access to my phone, here's what I recall. She wanted to put on some music on my phone, so I had to take my phone and enter my passcode when she was next to me.
Smart.
Classic.
I don't know how
Smart.
she managed to do that, but I'm very positive that's how she got the code. Also, someone mentioned mine was not too difficult. It was just 6 alternating numbers, so like 232323 or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. All right.
The nightmare part of this is that of like you don't realize what it would be like to be in the machine of your Apple tech support verification thing. Like you don't even think about it
No.
until you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Everything's on there.
Even calling Apple, they're like, well, you could be someone else.
How do you call
trying
Apple?
to get it from her?
Nobody can call Apple.
Yeah, no one can call Apple.
Apple is it's like calling Amazon.
all these tech companies, you're
Yeah.
not talking to anyone.
No.
Facebook, YouTube.
Fucking YouTube?
Yeah,
and
dude,
they
we've
want
never
you to
talked
do they want you to do the chat, like the fake chat,
Yep.
which you can't do because you don't have your phone. So no. And again, when you walk in and you have the wherewithal to hide a main wallet, Do you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
have that thought of let me hide my main wallet, whatever the fuck that is.
There's that contradicts so hard.
So
with,
hard.
With I thought, oh, that would never happen
That
to me.
would
That only
never
happens to other
happen.
people. But also, I have 2 wallets.
I have 2 wallets. I hide my main one when anyone comes to my house for some reason. So I'm vigilant in some ways. And then I'm just like, whatever in others.
Swapping over wallets to try to go out. It's a lot.
Weird.
It's a lot for me.
Weird.
Boy, I don't think this is the Ripper, guys.
You don't
I don't
know.
think
This is the
one's
pedicab
Ripper.
princess.
Yeah. Oh, is
Although,
that what
look-
she's called?
That's what I'm calling her.
I like
Yeah.
that. I
And
like
look
that.
down in the comments, Bob, because
Yeah.
there's some people saying that maybe the bars are in, some of the bars or bartenders are in cahoots, and it's like a mom and daughter team that kind of like do this.
Interesting.
Where they like give kickback to whatever the bartender that drugs them. When they come out,
Yeah.
they're sitting there ready to rob them.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
this is
Oh, this
Different.
one I know, by the way.
This is what?
Yeah, I remember watching that one on the news. I think it was a couple years ago.
it's 2022.
Yeah, I remember watching that one. All right, this one I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been they posed as rideshare drivers in Austin and were robbing people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
None
And
of
I
it's
think
none of
that's-
this is great.
No. And it doesn't.
None of this is great.
Again, we were down there. Like, it does not feel good.
Oh yeah.
There's-
And now there's a new racket too that's going on around this area. People are stealing tires
Tires, yeah.
just off your
Tires?
fucking car.
Yep.
Yeah. Middle of the night, they'll just steal your
Middle of
tires.
the
The full wheel
Dude,
or
that's
the
old.
tire?
That's old school.
Just the tire.
Up on blocks.
Yeah, right? Like leaving the hub?
Yes. It's not great. Crime isn't great anymore in this country, and
It's all, like,
I've had
annoying shit, too.
It is like having my car stolen, all that other stuff. There's a website. There's an app that Dan uses. I forget what it's called, like My Area or whatever the fuck it is, and it'll just go through like the crime reports. If you read them, what's actually going on, it's nuts. Not as nuts as what's going on in Ohio right now. We'll talk about that on fake news today, but Haitians are out there eating family pets and shit in Ohio right now. So that'll be a big story here later on in the day.
Oh, yeah, this lady. I don't
Yeah.
think we did it on the show, Bob, but you
Oh,
and I
we
talked
did we
about
just
it.
talk? Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want to, like Ross is saying, like, I didn't want to be like, oh, we figured out the Ripper, because I don't think it is, right? But
don't
it's
either.
a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a piece of like if you go down to Rainey Street right now or later tonight or whatever, like the vibe there is fucking weird and creepy, and like because of all these different things going on, not just one.
It was pretty dead on that Saturday night. Like I think it's actually affecting business.
Affecting business, although Bob, when they stayed, like our old asses went home, right? But they stayed.
Yeah.
And like got interviews and stuff and whatever, it got, as usual, way busier later.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like we were there and
We were there at like 10 and nobody's
our
out yet.
normal time, and they were still getting ready pre-gaming
Yeah.
to come out to Rainey. But yeah.
Yeah, he's going to die. Him and Joel are going to die, by the way.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Street Gonzo.
Yeah.
I just got some footage sent to me late last night that I was like, did you get arrested? Because that's
Did they?
not sure.
Oh, okay.
Not sure.
Stay
I'm
tuned.
waiting for a thing back.
Oh, okay.
But it appears as if maybe at the Venetian, where they have those, those rivers and those gondolas.
Yeah.
It appeared as if Gary jumped off a bridge into that river there. So
Vegas doesn't play
No.
with that kind of
Sure
shit.
don't.
No. They
Sure
don't go
don't.
like, oh, fun and flirty, whatever.
No.
Literally,
no.
the smallest offense can
no
get you.
idea. But Gary went method for the trip to Vegas.
What does that mean?
So he
like
was drinking.
Gonzo stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was drinking.
He was drinking.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he goes, look, I'm going to do this for 48 hours, and then just to prove that I can stop doing it again. But his hero is Hunter S. Thompson, and so he went for it there. We put him up at the Circus so he could have the full experience. That's where Hunter used to go.
The circus?
Yeah. Do you remember Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? That
I
whole
do.
scene where they're there was there. I was surprised it was still there. When I looked it up to book the hotel, I was like, oh shit, I thought this got torn down.
Yeah, because Sahara's gone.
Yep.
It's where all the poor families
Westward
Westward Ho
Ho's
is gone.
Slots of fun gone.
I think they blew up Tropicana maybe because of
Yep.
the baseball field.
My
Yep.
parents
So-
took me to Vegas when I was 13. We stayed at the Circus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did we. So,
So
anyone
do we,
that goes
because-
with families goes
Goes there because there's roller coasters, there's games, there's stuff for kids. It's
We
the
can-
only place for kids.
Right, so we can trick the kids and be like, we did this for you.
Right. And it's like $40 a night.
Drinking, gambling. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
We just wanted you to see a clown and ride on one roller coaster.
That's it. They still
So
have that
we
one
took
roller
you
coaster.
all the way to Vegas, and we're gonna not have fun at all. This is all for you.
They still have that one roller coaster.
They have to. They have to.
Before we get out of here, I want to give you a quick update. Talked about Tyrese Gibson. What was that, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? I was like, look, over under 5 years for him to be alive. I just don't think it's gonna happen because he's a little crazy. Turns out he was arrested. So that is breaking news. And
Recently?
yep, right now. Unpaid child support. So showed up to court today and they said, hey, you didn't pay that, and we're going to go ahead and ship you off to the pokey for a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That will happen.
I thought the new movie was getting made. Maybe it's delayed, The Last Fast and Furious. Not sure there.
Does he not have money? I mean, does he not have money?
I don't know.
How do you not?
Look. I'm looking at the number here. $10,000 a month is the child support there. So
Yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah.
And he has it.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? I don't know what people do with their money.
Yeah, true.
No idea what people do.
You
with
never
their
know.
money. You never know. But prayers up for Tyrese. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes out of this on the other side. We'll see. We'll see. We appreciate you tuning in, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, and Ross Patterson, this is the Revolucion. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good afternoon.